Hello, guys. Welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to get on Jack Turner. Finally, I've got him on. But he's had 9 professional fights so far with 7 wins, 2 defeats, and he's back boxing in February. On the 8th of Feb against Liam Gaynor over 6 rounds, and it's going to be a great fight. And first of all, Jack, how are you?
I'm good, brother. Thank you. As you said, finally here. I'm absolutely top to get a hold of, and you've been nothing but patient with me, so I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on, mate.
No, my pleasure.
And my first question is, how did you get into boxing?
Um, kind of. It was a funny one. It was something I'd never really thought of, and my mum kind of brought it up to me one day. Sorry, this is my dog, absolutely going nuts. Um, so my mum kind of brought it up to me one day, and she asked me if I would like to try it, and I thought, aye, okay, we'll go and kind of give it a bash. I think I was having a wee bit of a hard time at school and that as well, so I think she understood that. And we went to the gym and just it was for the first day punching a bag, and the kind of smell of sweat and blood was appealing to me. So I was like, I'm going to stick with this, and that was it. It was fell in love with it, and here we are.
And did you have an amateur career or?
Yeah, I had God, quite a big amateur career. I think I had maybe around 160, 70 amateur fights or something. Um, Numerous Scottish titles, Western District titles, boxed for my country on numerous occasions. So I had quite a big amateur career.
Yeah, and I mean, after that, you made your professional debut in 2019. Does it feel that long ago, or?
Do you know what? It was funny you say that because I was looking at that the other day and I was going, God, it doesn't feel that long. But I think it was because the whole COVID thing as well. See, because like say me turning professional and then COVID hitting, I was so inactive
Yeah.
due to all that. So that was a bit of a pain in the arse. It was obviously out of our control, but that really slowed it down. That put the brakes on it.
Yeah, COVID slowed a lot of, especially small hall fighters. It
Yep,
slowed lots of the small hall fighters' careers down. But you did
yep,
manage before, the whole lockdown and the pandemic. You did manage to get 2 fights in 2019, both
yep.
being 4 rounders and winning on points.
Yeah, I managed to get my debut. I'd signed with MTK Global at the time and managed to get the 2 fights out the way, and then everything kind of, as we said, slowed down. So it was good just to kind of experience the whole pro scene and get to understand it. And after COVID, I kind of knew what I was kind of in for because I knew it was going to start getting busy and I was going to get more fights. So it was good.
And that's when after COVID, yeah, you fought Stephen Jackson in 2022 in
Yep.
February. You won that. That was a step up to 6 round. Did you feel, you had those 2 4 rounders, but in the pandemic, you just really wanted to get back going, sort of thing, and get the dice rolling?
Yeah, definitely. I think that was one of the things. The 6 rounder was a step up, and but felt fine, and it was good just to get, like I said, get back in there and get the ball rolling and really getting to work. It was good, and I'm kind of happy that we obviously I've had 2 defeats in my record, which obviously is definitely what I didn't want. But at the end of the day, one was obviously boxing Andy Tam, who I boxed for the area title. Um, I get beat off Andy, and then I boxed Colin Murphy, and get beat off Colin for the Commonwealth Silver. So it was 2 hard fights, but probably 2 fights I feel that if I maybe applied myself a wee bit more, I'd done things a bit different, I'd feel their fights I definitely would have won. So I think it was a wake up call for me as well. I think even my coach today, I think everybody who knows me and who's round about me knows I've got talent, and I think I relied on that too much. So I was
Yeah,
very lazy in the gym.
exactly. I
Um,
mean, the before you fought Andy Pham, you fought in a good fight against Cruz Perez, who was 3-5. So that was
yep,
that's a decent win for you.
yep. No, Cruz. I'm actually funny. You see, I actually still talk to Cruz. I actually built quite a good relationship with him after the fight, and we still kind of talk daily. He was a great fighter. Quite simple. So his record seemed half decent, but it was I'd probably say it was one of my easier ones because I
He
actually
got a
applied myself in
stoppage to
camp.
fight after you.
Yeah, I did. Yep.
Yeah. And then you fought Andy Pham for the Scottish area featherweight title, and
Yeah.
even unfortunately for you, you got stopped in that fight.
Yep.
But up until that point, it was a some scrap.
Yeah. No, it was
About
a
that
great
fight.
fight, and it was a great fight actually. And Andy caught me with a flush backhand that I was I just switched off. I remember it switching off in round six and getting hit. So it was one of the ones. It was a whole new experience for me because I'd never been down, never tasted the canvas, never been hurt, and I think I got hit in the third round. I got dropped in the third round also, leading up to the stoppage. So I knew I was kind of, this is my dog by the way, who's going off her head. So it was kind of leading up to it. I was like, all right, I've just been dropped, and I think my head just kind of took off it. Do you know what I mean? I kind of lost my head a wee bit and lost focus. So it was a definitely new experience for me.
Yeah, and how tough was it to take your first defeat as a pro, especially for a Scottish title?
Um, Anybody that knows me knows I'm a sore loser. So, that was really bad. I think the first time I probably had maybe a bit of a depression. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just instantly fell out of love with the sport. I was like, I didn't want to do this anymore. I was,
Did it come to a point where you were going to retire, or did it not come?
aye, yeah, no, aye. Funny, it's like funny you say that. It's because I was actually sitting outside with my coach. I just moved to Colin, who's my coach now, and we were having a bit of a chat, and I said to him, "Listen, I think I'm done. I think I'm going to fight again. I don't really want to. I don't love the sport anymore. Blah blah blah." And next minute, the next day, I got offered the Colin Murphy fight for the Commonwealth Silver, and they sat me down, my promoter, and my coach, and said to me, "Listen, why don't you take this fight, see where things are at, and we can kind of go for there." And I said, "Right, we've got 4 weeks." I wasn't in the gym at all. We had 4 weeks' notice to lose 10 kilo. I wasn't
And
in
it
the
was on a
gym.
Frank Warren show as well, wasn't
I
it?
was on a Frank Warren show. I wasn't in the gym. I had 10 kilo to lose in 4 weeks, and I thought, you know what, fuck it. I was like, we'll just go for it. We had a look at Colin, and I generally having a look at Colin, I believed in 4 weeks we could have beat him quite comfortable. But that turned out totally different. Yeah, obviously, but that kind of like relit a spark in me. Do you know that it was like I did not expect it to do that. I was kind of like, do I want to do this? And then after that fight, I was like, aye, man, this is all I know. This is
And
really all I
mate,
know.
I mean, it wasn't going your way, but the amount of you kept coming forward no matter what he was throwing at
Yeah.
you, and you were there right until the end. And you know, you got stopped in that last round,
Oh,
but
yeah. I
it
know.
was
I think I showed a lot of character in that
hard.
fight. A lot of people kind of, for people that know me, know I'm like that anyway. Do you know what I mean? That's just the way I am. Listen, you're going to have to kill me if you're going to have to get me out there. That's one thing about me. I'm not scared. Listen, it's a bit of blood. It's not going to deter me. Do you know what I mean? That's why I'm in the sport for it. So Colin it was a great fight. Do you know what I mean? And Colin's a lovely boy. He's a cracking boy. But when we were both in there, it was time to punch lumps at each other. But that's something I potentially would love to run back. Is that fight? That's something that I would kind of focus on. I need to get a good couple of wins under my belt, beat this boy in the eighth. I think after this I've got a title. Obviously, all going well, God willing, that we beat this boy and keep on just climbing the ladder, and then we'll get back to Colin, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very good fighter as Kong. Do you see where you went wrong in that fight, and how you can make the adjustments to
Uh,
beat him in a
I, I
rematch?
I probably feel it was less me. Probably the biggest mistake was staying out the gym and then having 4 weeks notice to lose
Mhm.
10 kilo. Do you know what I mean? That's like we never get a full camp. We get a month to train. The training camp consists of losing weight. So if they gave me a 12-week camp and the way I am now, like this is the God honest truth, and I know he's got one up on me. He wouldn't have beat me, and that's that's facts. I know that for a fact. I'd put my life on that. If I got a 12-week camp and I'm training right, it would not beat me.
So is that one that you really want in the
Aye,
future?
yeah, definitely. That is one I definitely want. 100%.
And then after that, in October, you fought Eric Omar Lopez, who
Yeah,
he's got a half and half record.
yeah,
I think he's had a few knockouts over here
yeah,
um in England. Yeah, and you fought him and you beat him 39-37. Talk about that
yeah,
fight.
yeah. Aye, it was that was kind of it was another funny one. It was like there was a few situations that happened leading up to that fight. My coach, he sadly lost his boy, who was 21. So it was kind of training was just really kind of consisted of me training my kind of self and him obviously being in the background. But I think we trained for that fight genuinely for about a week
Mhm.
before before we had the fight. And the kind of only reason I boxed, fun enough, on that show was so the show didn't fold because I'd sold good tickets and I'd done all right with it. I always kind of do good with tickets, and I didn't want to let my promoter down because it's a kind of small hall show.
It's a dinner
Do
show.
you know what I mean? It's a dinner show, and I was like, do you know what? We'll fight him. And see, to be fair to him, he could punch like a fucking mule, like an absolute mule. And so it was one of the ones. That's probably been my biggest downfall in my career. Um, is probably been too brave or too scared to say no if someone's going, do you want to take this fight or should you do this? It's like majority of the time I should have probably said no, give me time. But I'm like, nah, let's fight. But that last one was probably round two. I was fucked, absolutely fucked. I was like, Jesus Christ, a week's training doesn't cut it.
Was it a tough night's work, that one?
I would say I made it tough. It probably it didn't have to be tough, but I made it tough. Especially I think in the third round when I think that's around I lost when I just kind of took the foot off the gas and he hit me back up a big shots and I just kind of laughed and went, I'll just take this round off, and then the fourth round I came out and just battered them again. So it was a case of probably I made it tough. He didn't.
Hmm. And yeah, of course they scored it 39-37.
Yeah,
What round did you say you lost?
third definitely. 100% the third round, just because I knew how tired of it. I know it sounds shocking because it's a 4 rounder, but I was shattered. I think just even like we changed the weight and all that. They tried to get me to come down dead low. It was mad, and then I think like I said, I don't lie. Do you know what I mean? I miss weight, but like I was sitting in the gym the night of. We were meant to turn up at the weigh-in at like 2:30, and I didn't turn up till like half four, because I was trying to strip the rest of the weight off myself
Mm.
because I took too much water out. And that's shit you shouldn't be doing. Do you know what I mean? In a 4 rounder or a 6 rounder, but you just shouldn't be doing that. So I was kind of like, I'm my own problem. I'm the downfall. So I've really switched on for this camp, and I've been working extremely hard, like extremely hard. I've got my S&C coach, running coach. I've brought on a nutritionist. I'm doing everything right, and that's what my coach says. If you've got a fit Jack Turner, there's somebody that's not going to get beat.
Yeah, and you mentioned that, I knew you because you were coming off two defeats. You fought a guy with a half and half record, and now you're jumping straight back in to a good fight, against Liam Gaynor. He may not be, on the best run of form, but it is still a going to be a cracking fight on a top show on February 8th. Talk about your upcoming fight and how preparations are going.
Yeah, no, listen, this is a massive fight. Do you know what I mean? For me especially, I need to win this to progress. So this is huge. So Liam's definitely going to bring something, and we've just got to be switched on. But I really feel especially this fight, how how committed I've been. I'm going to have a full 12-week camp by the time this fight happens, and I could go in and do genuinely, I think I could go in and do a 6 or a 10 rounder now. That's how good I'm feeling. Do you know what I mean? I've got my diet right, my training spot on. Like everybody about me, it's just a good energy. So I feel that people are going to see the true reflection of me in there, and I think I'm going to dismantle the boy quite comfortably. I don't think he'll be able to cope, especially when I'm kind of all guns are blazing. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he'll be able to deal with it.
What weight is this at? Is it at feather or super feather? Because I see that Liam Gaynor, he's boxed quite a few of his fights up at super featherweight.
I'll be coming in at feather. Definitely, I'm just staying as professional as it possibly can. I'll be coming in at feather. If he comes in at super feather, I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me. So he can. I'm not. I come in at heavyweight. I'm not really giving a fuck. Do you know what I mean? If he comes in at super feather, then I would have no complaints. If my team complained, I would be like, "Nah, I'm all right with it. It's fine." Because if I come in at, it's mad because if I come in at feather, I know I've done everything absolutely correct and my weight's on point and I'm already down basically. Think I think just now I'm just sitting above feather, and normally I'm sitting genuinely about 10 weeks, 10 weeks out of normal fights. I'd be sitting like 69 kilo. Do you know what I mean? It's so everything's been going smooth, and I'm just kind of the weight's falling off. We're doing absolutely everything spot on.
Good stuff. What do you know about Liam? Of course, he's coming off a Celtic title defeat in the first round last year to John
Yep.
Cooney. He's had two wars with Cole Murphy. He's a opponent that you've both fought. Yeah, what do you know about your
Well,
opponent, Liam?
when we got the Colin Murphy fight, we kind of watched that fight, him and Colin, and I tell you something, man, it gave Colin a hard fight. Uh, Probably when I watched it, I think that's why the rematch was right away, is because I think it was a lot closer than what people. Do you know what I mean? I think it could have been nicked by anybody. So it was a really close fight, and the boy's fit and he comes forward, he throws big wide shots. So for me, it's just staying switched on, shooting shots right down the pipe and just making them walk into things. So really, me making an easy night it would just keeping everything straight and simple, and just banging them as soon as he wants to open wide, and then just take my wee half step back and cut myself round, and I think it'll be an easy night.
And do you believe, have you seen openings and weaknesses in Liam Gaynor?
Yeah, aye, yeah, in abundance. Like there's hundreds, but with the openings and weaknesses comes danger as well because I know he throws the big wide looking hooks, and it might look to a fighter, oh, that's not. I mean, that give you that kind of watery mouth going, oh, I can hit him with this and that. But what you've got to be cautious of as well, they can also hit you. So I'm respecting everything he's bringing because I know he can. But it looks like he can punch a bit, and he kind of pulls him around, and it looks quite awkward. So, it's with the weaknesses. I've just got to be switched on.
And of course, again, Scotland v Ireland. Everyone likes, the Scottish v Irish fights. It's always going to be good. He
Yeah.
he normally brings a decent crowd. You bring a good crowd. That should be. You should get some noise down there.
Oh, definitely. Listen, I'll do. That's one thing about me. I'll do a power of tickets. Do you know what I mean? And I think I've already like as of now, I think we're sitting on like 120 or something. So
Really.
yeah, so I think I'll build on that as well. So I'll do a power of tickets.
Well, tell everyone on here, yeah, like how much the tickets are, and how
So I
they can
think
contact you and stuff.
yeah, I think everybody can just kind of contact me through Instagram or any of that kind of stuff. I think tickets are now. I think standard are 60 and ringside are I think they're 120. I'm sure, but not giving away my terrible at my promotion. But I think the 60s are better than the ringside, to be honest. Just a better view in the venue. So yeah, so they're just standard 16, and I think it's just ringside 120. So it's a cracking show. I'm really looking forward to it,
I
and
mean,
I think
there is, yeah, you've got, there's a British title
yep,
fight on it. There's Aaron Bird v Bobby Morrell,
yep,
Celtic title, which is a
mhm,
cracking fight.
yep.
Martin Cross and Kurt Jackson rematch. That's you were on their first card, weren't you?
Yeah, I was on I was on that first card. That's actually funny. Thought Martin won that.
You good? Are
So
you? Do you train with Martin?
no, I don't train with Martin. No, I know Martin really well. Obviously, I know all the Scottish boys really well. But I watched that fight and I felt Martin Cross actually won that. So
And do
it
you
was.
reckon he'll get the job done in the rematch, or?
I think he will. Yeah, it's a hard fight though. Do you know what I mean? I think the boy. I think the boy will come and try and maybe try and change a few things and exploited Martin a wee bit. Do you know what I mean? So I definitely think it'll be a tough test again.
But you feel Martin will pull through?
I think Martin will pull through. Yeah,
Um, I should have asked this earlier, but what gym is it that you train out of?
I train out a Coliseum gym with Colin Belshaw, so that's the gym I'm at.
And how long have you been there for?
God, I was literally with Colin, sorry, about 3 weeks when we took the Colin Murphy fight.
Oh, was that your
Uh,
first fight with him?
that was my first fight with Colin, yeah. So that was our first fight together. But I've known Colin for God years and years just through the amateur scene. Like Colin, when I was an amateur, used to get me up to spar some of his pros at the time, and I used to do rounds with him. So I've known him. I've known for a long time. So yeah, but different knowing somebody outside of boxing than it is inside when he's your trainer. So it's been great to work with him, and as a coach, he's genuinely phenomenal, like phenomenal. He's took boys to British titles and been in some major serious fights. Do you know what I mean? So it's nice to have him.
Hmm. Have you got a message? Of course you're. Yeah, have you got a message to fans who are going to be tuning in to your fight on February the 8th against Liam Gaynor, and what can they expect?
Yeah, I think on the eighth, I think they can expect to kind of revitalize Jack Turner. I think they're going to see a true character in myself, and I'm going to put on a kind of clinical performance and really prove that I've been working hard. One thing I always do is I can talk, and I've always been good at talking a good game. So I just want to kind of prove that where I'm at, and I've been working hard. And like I said, like uh, everybody that knows me will say, yeah, like got talent in abundance, but sometimes just my work ethic is terrible. So I've been working extremely hard, and if I combine the two of them, I don't see anybody beating me at feather. Genuinely. So this is the first kind of stepping stone, and then we move on. So not looking past them, got to deal with them on the eighth, and then we continue.
100%. And yeah, before I let you go, I'll give you a chance to shout out whoever you want.
Uh, God, probably biggest shout out would be to Colin, who looks after me day in day out. One of my big sponsors, Pulse Barbers, who looks after me, makes me look fresh for the fights. And last but not least would probably be my fiance, who is by my side consistently, deals with all my food. She cooks all my food. The nutritionist sends over. She does everything. So she's my rock. So she keeps me going. This is who I do it for. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of who I do it all for. So family's a big thing to me. So my wee mum and all that's what I do it for. I don't really. Do you know what I mean? I don't, as a boxer, I don't really have sponsors or stuff. I just do everything myself. So I
Mm.
know a lot of boys probably shout their sponsors, but I kind of just do everything kind of myself. Pulse Barbers is a massive, they're a sponsor, so they help me massively. And actually, PS Construction in Edinburgh, they do as well. In fact, Paddy's been on board for God before my even professional career started. So they've been massive with me. So big shout out to all them. They're amazing. Without them, it's not possible. Do you know what I mean?
100%. And from me, Jack, thank you for your time today.
Pleasure.
And yeah, all the best with camp and all the best for the fight.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Sorry it took
Thank
me so
you.
long to get on. Thank you.
Thank you, mate.
Thanks.
Bye.